At some point, you said, I don't remember when, he had gone back to the UK.
2017.
So they married illegally and they divorced legally.
The only thing of interest to me, here,
Wow.
I'm having a deeper thought.
Jesus.
And I had this thought on the Garage Logic Service Road of Life last week, and I'll explain it to you. The only thing of interest to me is, has she conducted herself in a way that would get her removed from Congress?
Well, if in fact, yeah.
Okay, and here's my observation. Because she is of the Mysterian left, do you remember the Minnesota legislator who we had on the air? The guy runs a shoe store down near Red Wing.
Right.
And he took up the Ilhan Omar financial cases.
Right.
Strakowski? And he didn't get anywhere. Is there a... Let me start over and see if I can make sense of what I'm trying to say. In St. Paul, the political party is so dominantly left that they're getting away with whatever they want to get away with because there is no check on them.
Right.
And what occurs to me is, nor is there a check on them from the state legislature. The St. Paul delegation is of the same mind. So there's no adult at the legislative level to come back to St. Paul and say, hey, you guys got to rein it in here. This is you're
getting out of control.
But they're all of the same ilk. They're all of the same mind. And I think we're witnessing that with Ilhan Omar, that she is in an environment of people who so wish her to be where she is, that there's no hand from above that will come and have a come to Jesus meeting with her.
And what happens when you call her out on that? What are you?
I'm an Islamophobic. I'm a racist.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a racist. But there's no adult above her that apparently wishes to come to her and say, we have to have a meeting. You broke the law.
Didn't they try that?
If, in fact, she broke the law.
There's got to be, that person has to be in place. That just, who is that person?
Is it Mike Freeman?
I was going to say, is it Pelosi?
Well, here we go.
Is it Pelosi?
It's got to be Pelosi.
From Senate.gov, Article 1, Section 5 of the U.S. Constitution provides that each House of Congress may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with a concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. Since 1789, the Senate has expelled only 15 of its
It's not going to
membership.
happen.
No.
Of course it's not going to happen.
Of course not.
Because she'll turn on them and call them Islamophobic.
Unless she, in fact, is investigated, prosecuted, and found guilty, then they don't have any choice.
But you know what this could do? And this is coming from the very people, the one I just read. Yeah. This is coming from the very people that voted for her.
Yeah.
Is a story like this going to affect the thousands of people that put her in office?
I have no idea. My suspicion is no.
Well, you know what I see happening, and this is all just the fabrication of my own insane brain, is all of these Somalis dropping her like a hot potato, but all the white liberals in Minneapolis and Minnesota continuing to prop her up.
I don't think you're on the wrong track there. I don't think you're on the wrong track. Because it's virtue branding to say I'm supporting Ilhan.
And it's not being covered locally. We had to go to the Daily Mail to get this story.
And in the world of identity politics, she might be the most bulletproof woman in the country.
Oh, boy. You're right.
Because that's the world we live in. We don't live in a world now of truth and valor and integrity and morality. We live in a world of you will be judged by who you are, not how you behave or what you've done. So she's bulletproof. She's Muslim. She's black. She's a female. She's an immigrant. She's got every box checked.
Has this story gone beyond the press? I mean, what I mean is, are there any sort of investigations whatsoever? Or is this just the press?
I was under the impression that there is an FBI and ICE investigation, but I have not heard anything of it since I initially read that such an investigation was taking place.
Here we go. I can answer my own question. Last month it was reported that the FBI was investigating evidence that suggested Almi is Omar's brother. Omar called the accusations disgusting lies last year during her campaign.
Right. Well, you know that if presented even with evidence, presented with the truth, if it could be discovered, she's going to deny it.
Right. Yeah. And plead not guilty, which, you know, that's par for the course.
Well,
she's been busy this week. with the burn.
Got a lot on her mind.
Nevada.
Well, she's been busy. Let me read you something from Sanibel.
Will that, if in fact, this won't play out before the election, the presidential election. There's no way this, so that won't affect Bernie and her endorsement of him.
Yeah, lately, or most recently, she is calling for criminal indictments to be brought against the recycling plant in Becker. She wants them cited for criminal behavior.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily sure that I disagree with her. If they violated the safety rules that would have prevented such a toxic fire, they ought to be called on the carpet for it.
Did they, in fact, though?
I don't know that.
Okay, what was the last thing that she did?
She wanted VA medical facilities to be open to everyone.
I disagree
gross.
with that.
Oh, even the veterans don't like the VA.
Right, exactly.
Let's take care of our veterans first.
Well, wait. Have you read anything the veterans say about the VA hospitals?
Well, let's go to a veteran. Sanibel Jim. Damn, Joe, I was so pissed off about the congresswoman that I forgot my point. She is claiming that she has PTSD because of our incursions into the Middle East. Next, she says we should include all in the GI Bill. Next, she'll want everyone to have access. That's what it was, the GI Bill, I'm sorry. Next, she'll want everyone to have access to the VA medical facilities. Of course, she also supports Medicare for all. I have a rare cancer that was caused by Agent Orange from my tour of duty in Vietnam. Am I whining about it? Not no, but hell no. All that moron has to do is go to a VA hospital or clinic and look around the lobbies or waiting rooms. She'd see old guys limping around and dying from the crap they suffered from doing their duty to our country. I see most of our younger soldiers at the medical facilities with missing limbs. Not just limb, but limbs. Has that dumb anti-American ever been inside a VA medical facility? Doubtful. She wants to dilute the limited funds that go to the VA by spreading it across the entire population. I have words to describe her actions, but they are not what you would care to repeat. Her and her ilk want to bring us down. Too many have gotten too much to allow her and her kind to prevail. I am so damn upset this morning that after reading the news that I must take a swim and have a beer.
The after swim beer.
Yes.
Cold here today, only low 70s, but back to the 80s by the weekend. I know you love that sort of reminder. Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you hear about the new Bernie Sanders drinking game?
No, what is that?
Every time the Burnster mentions a free government program, you chug someone else's beer. The Burnster.
It is amazing that the rule of law, and this can be applied across the board, white, black, yellow, red, blue people, Republican, Democrat, Green, Bernie, whatever. It's amazing to me that the rule of law is being replaced by political identities. And
How dangerous is that?
Yes, that your political identity is trumping truth and trumping law and trumping moral and ethical integrity. And people are getting away with it. Not just Omar. Many people are getting away with their behavior because they can hide behind a protected political class that they've helped create and identify. It's another layering on of how the political class leads a separate rail from the rest of us.
Bring back Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan, who didn't agree with each other, but they got along.
Did you know Omar went to Edison High School? I didn't know that.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a big story, but I don't know that it's a big story because I don't know that it's going anywhere.
No, it won't. Absolutely won't.
And the only story to be mined, to be investigated, is if, in fact, she married her brother, which would have been illegal.
I still don't know, though, if they see the document that says, here it is, there's the marriage certificate, we're good. Do you think they would do anything? Do you think they would act on this? Or is it just
the Daily Mail
slap on
printed the certificate?
If the
So what's at issue is, was she or his brother or not?
Right.
And if she was, and they have that certificate.
Their marriage is not in doubt. Their marriage is not in doubt. That's on record.
Okay.
Right.
What's in doubt is, and what she denies is, that that man is her brother.
Yeah.
And they say they can't figure it out because war-torn Somalia doesn't have accurate records.
Exactly.
And he was born at St. Joe's.
But, Matthew, to answer the question, if they do, in fact, discover that he is the brother and that she did commit marriage fraud, Pelosi and company, they have no choice but to react. They have no choice.
And they're
None
not going
whatsoever.
to. You think Nancy Pelosi is going to cite a call to action based on a United Kingdom tabloid newspaper story?
No, not until there's a conviction. No, there'll have to be a conviction.
And, the Washington Examiner will pick it up. You think the Washington Post will take a look at this? No.
Is it a scandal of what level? On 1 to 10?
Well, if in fact she married her brother,
Yes.
for purposes of allowing him to remain in this country, she committed a crime.
And that's...
It's not a crime that would necessarily cost her citizenship, which is legitimate.
Okay. She was already a citizen.
But it's a crime that would have colored her credibility to be a political figure. You would think.
Right, but she wouldn't be the only one with a checkered past that's in politics.
But she might be the only one that married her brother.
I don't think Trump's ever married a sister.
I wasn't referring to Trump.
I don't think any of them have ever married a sister.
Wow.
Didn't know I had a sister.
Didn't know I could.
Okay.
In fact, what the left loves to point out is that Omar has been a citizen long before Melania Trump.
Yes, that's true.
And none of the laws, I looked all this stuff
I
up.
love how they turn that around. Isn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
yeah.
Just turn it right around.
And I looked this up. None of what she is alleged to have done would have affected her application to become a U.S. citizen because she became a U.S. citizen legitimately and lawfully before any of this stuff happened.
Long time ago.
Right, so if anything, she'll go to prison or be fined like any other U.S. citizen,
Yeah.
in theory.
In theory. And I don't think it'll get to that point because because she is protected by her political identity.
You just got my Hey Siri going.
What did I do?
I don't know. You said Hey Siri or something similar.
I didn't say, hey, Siri.
Well, you heard it
But you got some voodoo going on here? I don't know
No,
what the hell
you
that
said
is.
Hersey.
Hersey.
Oh.
Hersey.
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 Hey,
Horsey.
Siri.
Hey, Siri.
What do you want? Shut up and do the show.
Well, now we're distracted.
Right.
Okay.
So where are you going with this, Joe?
I'm going nowhere with it.
Yeah, that's just
And the news gathering institutions, generally speaking, do not have in their employ hungry young people who want to get to the bottom of things if getting to the bottom of a thing violated their proprietary sense of political identity.
yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't know this. I'm very eager to be proven wrong. I know for the fact the St. Paul paper is literally it would be a manpower or woman power shortage. There's not many reporters left.
Okay.
I keep meaning to take a picture of the newsroom for you guys.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yesterday they were taping and sheetrocking, and so it's literally just a room almost like this.
But this could be considered, you know how newspapers have turned inward and they cover more local issues than national. This is a local issue.
Yeah.
I mean, this is worth putting somebody on.
And I don't think the Star Tribune has in their employ reporters who have it in their makeup to take on. Well, I hope I'm wrong.
I think the problem with the Star Tribune lies in the editorial
That's
board.
exactly
or
what I was gonna
whoever.
say.
You'll have to tell me who it is. Whoever assigns these sort of stories to reporters,
'Cause there's no
Would that
way.
be an editor. Or
Okay, but here's what I would do if I was the editor.
assignment editor.
Here's what I would do if I was the editor. I'd handpick one or two people, and I would say, I want you to get to the bottom of this. I don't care. We're going to find the money to fly you to Somalia if we have to. We're going to do whatever it takes. But this is all you're going to do for the next 3 months. You are going to find out if, in fact, she married her brother in what would have been her second marriage. You're going to find out if the guy she married was, in fact, her brother, because that's a crime, and I want to print that if she did that.
But never having worked in a newspaper, if you have someone in Ilhan Omar that's unwilling to speak to anyone